Mustard Knuckle.
Hello everybody, Mustard Knuckle back again. We're going to head out in the M26. Going to talk a little bit of history, not too much. We've already talked a fair amount of history about this thing, but there's a few other things I've found that might be interesting to some of you, hopefully. We'll talk the gameplay as we go through this, and then just any tips or anything that come up along the way. We'll talk about that as well. M26, it's been fun. Been building this thing up for a little while. Got the mods on it. I think I got a fair amount of mods on it now. But when you do get them, the speed increase is nice, and you can actually get places ahead of the other team and wait. Let's see what. There we go. All right, cool. Fire. It's just using the rigid shell. I know right there probably would have been a great time for a explosive shell, but I like to be able to pen what I'm shooting at rather than risk a ricochet or a non-pen and then end up getting killed. So let's see if I can find that guy. Pop smoke. They're back there. I know they're back there. Where is he? Right there. There he is. Alright, there's another shot. Not much on that one, unfortunately. Didn't even get in there. But M26 was a really interesting tank. It came at an odd time. That guy, nope. Came at an odd time. There's a lot of dispute within the army about what direction to go with the tanks. There was the tank doctrine. Not sure exactly what it was called, but there was a doctrine of some sort regarding tanks. It could have been called the tank doctrine. I don't know. But it was about tanks, and it was a doctrine, so that's what we're going to go with. It said, alright, cool, well, it went right through. The goal was that they wanted these tanks, they only wanted tanks, really, that basically were tank destroyers. They wanted something fast that could get back there. They could exploit any breaks that were created by the infantry. And they could rush in, quick strike, and then rush out. They weren't really made for fighting. They were made to take their big old gun in there and break some stuff, and then get out and not mess around at all. So that was the goal. But then it was discussed that there wasn't really a heavy tank option, a modern heavy tank. The jumbo existed, but this is getting toward the end of the war now, and the jumbo, you know, the gun wasn't quite there. The M4A3, that had, you know, 76mm gun. That was a good gun, but there just wasn't anything with a really serious gun, 90mm like this one. So this thing finally got made, but it was delayed so much that it just didn't end up making it into the war. It did a lot in Korea, but it didn't do much in Germany in World War II. So yeah, the tank destroyer doctrine said what I was saying. It just said that they wanted them to be fast, they wanted them to get around the back, strike, and leave. So anybody that was interested in this M26 was basically kind of shunned. They didn't want to hear about it, and then that's what caused the delay, and that's what caused us to miss the end of the war, basically. But this thing could have been of pretty significant value against the Tigers and other more heavily armed or armored tanks. So it's good. It's lucky that that didn't end up causing more problems than it did. And it was a simple dispute amongst, you know, ideology. And unfortunately it cost quite a bit of time on this. There was also a situation that there was discussion that, you know, at what level do we need to use our resources to create new weapons. We create more new weapons, we use resources to do that. Then I'm just going to watch down this little aisleway here. I mean, I know they're going to come right out there, but you know, we're all waiting. It's going to be great when somebody comes around that corner. They're going to get lit up. But you know, the expansion or the spending of resources to build a new tank, a new gun, a new system of any sort. They didn't want to do that because that was going to increase complexity, and they're used to a pretty simple system of Shermans and Sherman-like vehicles, M10, M18, you know, what else was built? There was so many things built on that M4 platform that they didn't want to go away from it. Even the gun, the 75mm gun, 76mm gun, you know, where do we go? We're going to go 90mm gun, we're going to go on a new chassis now, we're going to, you know, we're changing so many things. So there's a lot of pushback on developing this tank in the first place. Let's see if I can spray those guys. Aye. Whoa. Okay, well, got something out of it, but I always wait to come back and have my tank have been bombed while I was doing that. That's not fun. So I'm debating here. I mean, I want to run in there, and it looks like I got some teammates in there. You don't want to run in. Here's a tip. Tip from me. This is my thought. I don't want to run in there by myself and get blown up. I want to wait, go in as a team, 2, 3, 4 guys, go in and get to work. But if you go in by yourself, I mean, it looks cool for a second. You get your first shot off, that's cool. Now I'm stuck on a tree, are you kidding me? But then you're done. You know, and what has that done? That hasn't done anything to help your team. Like I said, I mean, it's fun, but, you know, I want to win. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to win when you come out, even though you're not playing with, you know, you're not squatted up, you don't have a real team or anything, but you're on a team and you can work together to a certain extent. So I'm looking at the map here. I'm trying to figure out where our guys are, where their guys are, and which way. See, like this guy doesn't even know we're here. Which way they're going to be looking versus which way I'm going to come from. So let's see if I can get him before he goes. Another hit. That's the problem with rigid shells. I mean, I like the pen, but there we go. Oh, another hit. Looking for the ammo. I like the pen. You know, I'm slowly taking them apart, but sometimes, there we go. Sometimes, by the time I do that, somebody comes around the corner and gets me at the same time, so not great. But I think I've made the point on what the thought process was on supply lines and things like that, and why they were hesitant. The commanders and such were hesitant to create a whole new tank, a whole new gun, all this stuff. So that slowed it down too. And then there was a certain thought that thought, oh, we're fine. We got enough stuff. We got tons of Shermans. We got okay guns. They can kill a tiger if they get right up next to it and beside it, then they can kill it, you know, but like that's gonna happen. Well, finally, you know, the thought prevailed that like we need something different, so they finally went ahead with it, and that's what made it go so good in Korea, you know. But up to this point, there was a lot of, even, you know, the T-26, right? So T-26, M26, essentially the same. Now the T-26E1, that one had the bigger gun and extra armor, and you know, the Super Pershing, but it never really saw any service. It almost did. They made 2 of them, and then it was the end of the line. They were just sent over and never really got to be used at all. And so they're in game, but there's not really any real history of that tank being used in World War II. So the Pershing, the amount of things that this M26 participated in Korea and on down the line was incredible. Where'd they make this? Let me think. Oh, we talked about that before. It was at that Detroit Arsenal building place where they built tanks for like 50 years, and then you know, finally closed down. And that was automated. I think it was Chrysler that managed that for them. Another thing that's interesting about these is you forget that the thing weighs basically 100,000 pounds. It's 46 tons, so what are we at? We're at 92,000 pounds. It's incredible. And, you know, the armor, the weight. We're talking about the 40s, you know, they got big enough engines and materials to create a tank like this that could really go in and fight and take out positions, take out artillery emplacements, take out other tanks. It really did a good job. So now I'm just gonna ride back here. I know they're gonna be coming across, so I'm gonna wait for them and just come across here. Now, this is something, you know, I kind of like to play this way. Sometimes it doesn't end up being the most exciting game in the world, but I like to try to stay alive, and I like to try to keep moving. And the more you move, you know, the better chance you have to kind of sneak up on somebody and possibly end up helping one of your teammates that ends up in trouble. If you're just sitting still somewhere, the chances of you running across somebody that needs your help is pretty slim to none. So here we go. Yeah, it's over. Yep. Oh, I didn't realize it was quite that over, but I'll take it. That's a good win. Good win. 7 assists. 7 assists, 2 kills, 29 hits. So I was busy. Not a lot happened. See, this is something else that's interesting. You can look at the stats, right? But you can't see what a guy's actually doing. Like, how many times have you seen somebody say, oh, well, you know, you've only gotten 2 kills, you know, you suck, or whatever. You don't know what's been going on. That guy might have tons of hits with no assists. He might have capped 2 points or something. You know, he might have distracted the other team. He might have scouted guys that got killed by teammates. So, I mean, there's a lot going on, so each tank, you know, you never know what somebody's doing within the game, so just go and enjoy it. So if you like this type of video, we'll get more into the history, we'll get more into, you know, more gameplay and tips and stuff like that, but each video we're just going to do some brief history about certain parts of these vehicles. And here we go, there's what I got. Just the engine. Let's get the transmission now, that'll work. And let's see, what else should we get? Tracks. That way I can go fast. Man, what a game. I'm gonna clean this thing up. I'm gonna be all set. Elevation. I don't know. Anyway, alright guys, well if you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you think, and good luck. Have fun, and we'll see you in the next one.